All right, guys, welcome. Thank you. We're excited. We've got all people from all over the country, Arizona, Bob, we've got New Hampshire, we've got frozen Wisconsin. Thank you guys for joining in. We're going to get rolling here. So today we have David Durnell. He's the owner of RV Wholesalers, been in the industry for about 22 years. And then Kelly Tussing has been helping out here, 16 years? Yep. And myself, I was about 5 years ago, I was at this big RV show in Chicago, down at the McCormick place. And I was actually there helping a nonprofit. And while I was there, I paid several $1,000s to get this tiny little booth space. And what I noticed was that when I walked over to the RV area of the show, there was all these trailers, and so I texted Dave. I'm like, "Why aren't you guys here? Why, where's RV Wholesalers?" And he was just real kind, and he's just like, "Yeah, something to think about." And he didn't give me the real reasons, but for today, I was able to pull it out of him, and and I want him to share with you kind of why they weren't at that RV show and a lot of other RV shows, and kind of what the real inside scoop is on RV shows, and so we can help you. And so. Guys, go ahead and let's talk about shows and how we can give them some good tips with shows coming up or shows that I've already been to. So
yeah, absolutely. We when we first started in business, we jumped in a couple of shows. There was one in Columbus, Ohio that we did. There was one in Dayton, Ohio that we did. And there's something real interesting that happened right at the beginning of the show. They had a meeting of all the dealers, and of course we were in this meeting. And the first thing that we don't charge fees at all for PDI or anything else. The other thing they were talking about was make sure your pricing isn't too low. And again, we found that very, very troubling to say the least.
Well, that's kind of the myth, though. I mean, everyone thinks, hey, I'm going to go to the RV show and get a great price. Every price.
Go ahead, you're good.
Every camper usually has a sticker or a piece of paper on it that says show price, and it's in red. It's great, and people call us all the time. Well, I got the show price, and it's thousands higher than our everyday price. So that's where it's kind of. But if everyone says that, and that's kind of the going thing, I mean, that's what people start to believe.
It's basically a old wives' tale. And what we noticed was you pay. I mean, there's dealers paying over $100,000 to get in these shows. That's no joke. We never got in one for under $50,000. So there's a $50,000 investment right out of the gate. Then you're looking at additional advertising, additional staffing because you're having staff work later hours than normal or extra days than normal. Cleaning the units once you get them there, transporting the units to the show. I mean, there's so many additional fees. And the interesting thing is, if you stop and think about it, a dealer already has a place to do business, right? He's already has all his overhead, all those costs involved. And now you're adding all these additional costs, and he's going to sell cheaper than he would at his place of doing business. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, it just doesn't pass the common sense test. And that's what really popped up to us. First of all, we weren't welcome back to the shows because we wouldn't do the fees, right? Fix the fees with the other dealers. We also weren't welcome back because we wouldn't raise our prices, and that was a big part of it. The dealers needed to raise the prices at the shows in order to cover the cost of the show. I mean, think about it. There's another real sneaky thing that happened. They did a lot of high pressure stuff there. If a factory rep showed up, they incorporated him into it. If the factory rep didn't show up, they had one of their people put on a shirt and act like they were a factory rep, and they would tell you that you were getting this show price. It's way cheaper than the normal price, and you only have it until the end of the show. And the factory's putting up part of the money, and when the show's over, it's gone. You've got to close right now. And that turned us off big time. It just was way too deceitful. And we found out it's happening all over the country. But again, why would I pay $100,000 additional money to go sell units cheaper at another location? It really does not make any sense at all, and hopefully you can see that.
Well, that's not to say that people shouldn't go.
No.
There's a bunch of units. I mean, you can see different brands, different floor plans. It's inside. It's not 5 degrees outside. So, I mean, there's some benefits, but it's usually not the place where you want to purchase one. It's to kind of go and look and figure out what you want and get in it and set in it and things like that and give you an idea.
Yeah, and it's especially if you live in the northern states, it's a great break from the winter, and you get to go and just look around, and if there are real factory reps there, talk to them about units you're interested in. Maybe they can help you with why their unit's better than someone else's. At least it gives you stuff that you can chew on and think about. And the biggest thing, though, I think that gets missed in the RV industry is just service, right? We're all going to pay all this money for an RV, but how am I going to be sure I can use it afterwards? So before you go to any show, do research. What dealers are there? How are they going to take care of you after you buy? Are you always going to camp in their backyard? Because if you're not, if you're going to travel, how are they going to take care of you when you're not in their backyard? When you're in 3 states over, right? That's a really, really important thing. Is just know how you're going to be taken care of and put it in writing. And a lot of dealers say, "Oh yeah, we got great service." What does that mean? What does it look like? Have them put it in writing, and then you know that you're guaranteed great service. But that's some research to do before the show. And again, one thing to do at the show is ask them, if I'm camping at this place, what are you going to do? One of the things that used to exist is mobile service, and it's amazing how many dealers have done away with mobile service. And it's that sort of thing that's causing a lot of issues in the industry right now.
Well, it's the same thing, too, with options on units at shows. I mean, sometimes you'll find a unit that's at a show, it's bare bones. Well, you're not comparing to what most people have or you see online, the factory's website or whatever, showing the unit with the main options that people want. And then at the show, hey, we're going to bring this unit in and kind of dummy it down, water it down, and keep the price down. So, and that's something to always get the options in writing and always compare. Check with your local dealer, check with us, check with a place just to make sure you're getting a fair deal.
Yeah, David said some auto dealerships will show you their invoice and you can negotiate from there, or they have so much of a markup from it. I've never found a dealer that had an honest invoice. What's real interesting to me is we used to go to RVDA classes. That's a Recreational Vehicle Dealers Association, and one of the classes was how to mark up your invoice without letting your staff know. They're even lying to their own staff. It's too much work, guys. I just refuse to live my life that way. And everybody that works here has access to invoices. Everybody that works here can see exactly what we're paying for the RV. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, so that you can do a dishonest day's work. It doesn't make any sense to me. Another great one that we've seen that has now infiltrated into the shows was offer a really, really low price, and then that combats all the internet dealers, right? Because people are walking around with an internet dealer's price in their hand, and they're at an RV show talking to all these dealers. You say that your price is lower than that, you get their credit card, $1,000 to $5,000 deposit. Then when they go to pick up the unit, you hit them with all these hidden fees. And I wish I had a copy of it with me right now. We had a dealer's invoice the other day that we saw. He had 13 or 14 hidden, not hidden, they were on there, 13 or 14 fees on this purchase agreement, right? And the salesperson tells the person that, well, most of those won't apply to you. Really? Why are they on there? That's really odd. And most of them are marked at 0. And of course they did apply to them. And the person ended up coming back to us and buying. But
well, and the hope is that when you get there and your kids have already picked out their bunk beds and you've already done your walkthrough, hey, you're not going to leave. So, hey, I'm going to take it on the chin and take these $1,500 in fees or $2,000, or some dealerships I've seen over $3,000 in fees. We're 2 states away. Let's just take it, honey.
Well, there's a national chain right now with over 170 stores. It's not hard to figure out who they are, and they have minimum $1,700 fees at every store.
Most of the time, that place is over $3,000.
Yeah, and again, what Kelly just said to help you understand it better. If I took $1,000 to a $5,000 deposit from you, Are you going to give up, because this is what they tell you your choices are you going to give up $1,000 deposit to not pay $1,700 in fees? They're counting that you won't. Make sense? So rather than lose $1,000, you give them another $1,700. The thing is, you don't have to, guys. You're not powerless in this thing. Just because they have your deposit doesn't mean that you're powerless. They change the deal on you, right? The deal you had in writing, okay? If that deal changed when you go to pick up, you have options. That's one of the bonus things that we promised to tell you about. And we want to hit some questions real quick too, but just to throw out real quick, if that deal changed from the time you were at the show until the time you got there to pick up the units, real simple. They've changed the agreement. The contract's void. Call your credit card company and ask them to resend that money, right? They'll do it, and then they'll investigate it, but they'll do it immediately. The dealer knows he has no foot to stand on. He's not going to challenge it. If the dealer calls you and starts pressuring you, then you have other avenues. You've got the BBB, you've got the state attorney general, places like that, because the dealer changed the contract. We're not talking about you get there and you just changed your mind. We're talking about the dealers changed the contract. Your price has gone up in some way. You do have ways to get out of that. Remember, you're the boss. You're the one in charge. And, we always get hate mail after these. People are like, why would you tell them how to get out of the deal? Da, da, da. Well, because we're not being dishonest. It doesn't happen to us. You're only upset about that if you're being dishonest. And the best example I can give of this, I'm watching this show on TV, and this person was saying how in her neighborhood you couldn't testify against someone else, right? And she does, and this grandma comes to her and she's like, how dare you testify against someone in your neighborhood? And it's like, well, the guy murdered someone. Well, people say, how can you go against RV dealers? You're an RV dealer. Simple, because they're being dishonest. They're lying to people.
Well, and they're not looking for the relationship and hoping that you come back and send your friends and family. They're hoping to hammer you one time and move on. Because if you add $3,000 to my price and I do decide to take that deal, I can't ever come back. They're not worried about that, or they wouldn't have done it in the first place. So, it's just different philosophies. If you're all about that, then I guess that's the way it is. But most people I know, they don't want the price to change, and they want a relationship because it's easier to do business with someone you've already done it with before.
Well, that's exactly it. And that's again, not only is service important because you need to be able to use the RV, right? You bought it to camp. You need to be able to camp, but you need to know too that you can trust the dealer. So again, if the dealer won't put service in writing, don't buy from them. If they won't tell you how you're going to be taken care of. We've had people say before, well, I'm always in my somewhere near my dealer. Okay. What happens when your parents get sick, God forbid, and you find yourself, 100 miles away, an hour away, right? 3 states away.
Kids at college.
Exactly. You're using the RV for things you didn't plan on using the RV for. And you have no air conditioning. It's the middle of the summer, right? You have no heat, and it's early spring or late fall. You need to be able to use your RV and know that you can use it anywhere that you live, camp, or travel. What happens if your job gets transferred and you're no longer in the state with that dealer? So it's time that the RV industry takes service to another level. It really is, and it's time that they're willing to put it in writing. People shouldn't wait. The average last year that people had their RV in a service shop somewhere in this industry was 12 weeks. That means some waited longer. Right? But 12 weeks, that is so unacceptable. It's crazy.
Especially when the kids are only out of school for 12 weeks in the summer.
Yeah. Even if you live in a warm climate, doesn't mean you can camp all year. Most of us have campers still have to work. It's one way that we afford them. Georgia asked, where are you located? We are located in the great state of Ohio. Lakeview, Ohio to be exact. We're like, West Central Ohio, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Real close to Columbus, Ohio. And then
Alfred, he said that this is no BS. He went to Hershey, and it's all the truth. So, and again, we're not telling you this because it's not the case. We've been there and done it, and it is the case. It's a great place to go and look and figure out what you want. It's not a great place to pull the trigger.
No, we did the show last year, and a lady got all upset. said we weren't being honest. And I told her, so well, then find out. She was going to go to the Tampa show, which is another huge show. And I said, call your dealer 2 weeks before the show, get a price, and then go to the show, find the same unit, and get the price. She was shocked. It was just a hair over $2,100 more at the show. So she saw it. We were telling the truth. And again, guys, it's just using a little bit of common sense. I already have a place to do business. Okay. If I'm paying $50,000 to $100,000 more to get into a show, I have to transport my inventory there and back. I have to have someone clean it once it gets there, right? Set it up. I've got to have extra staffing to do what I just said. All that's extra costs. How can I sell it for less there than I would at my own lot? Doesn't make any sense. So they're going to mark up the pricing. And again, the industry teaches classes on this stuff. They all come up with extra fees. They all have the same. See, I can't get mad at Kelly's dealership if I'm shopping. If he has a $1,400 PDI fee, pre-delivery inspection fee, I go to every dealer and they have the same fee, right? Well, that just must be what the fee is. And we hear people say that. Well, everyone was charging it. Well, that doesn't make it right.
Right.
That should be figured into the dealer's price. It really should. Jim asked, can you explain your service policy and how it works for out-of-state purchases? Yeah, it's for us, it's real simple. We've got well over 2,000 independent service centers that we do business with all over the United States and Canada. Most of them are in the U.S. And if you buy from us, you have a problem, you give us a call, and we tell you the closest person in our network that can help you. We always try to keep it within 20 miles. Jim, normally we can get, within 20 miles of you, so you're not traveling more than, 20, 30 minutes. What we do then, if the service center doesn't do warranty work, right, they don't file it with the factory, we'd go ahead and pay them. That's what we call RVW bill pay. We pay the bill, so you don't have to be any money out of pocket, and then we turn it in as warranty with the factory. But we've never had, in 22 years, we've never had a customer not get serviced anywhere in the U.S. or Canada.
Well, the nice thing, too, is if we call the first place and they're out 6 weeks or 12 or whatever, we call the next place and then the next place to get you in a good time.
Yeah. Albert asked, what makes it better to buy from you? That isn't what this was about, Albert. And I'd love to answer your question, but we didn't come on here. It's real simple. There's going to be 350 to 400,000 new RVs sold this year in the U.S. It doesn't count used, okay? We can't sell them all. It's impossible. I wish we could. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the people. It would be impossible for us to sell 10% of them at our location. So what we try to do is clue people into what to look out for, right? The questions to ask, how to protect yourself, don't get taken advantage of. I hope at some point we can touch those people, right? But we know we can't sell 350 to 400,000 new, plus all the used that get sold. So the reason we do this is not to try to get business. We do it to educate people how to protect themselves. I love the RV industry. It's given me an amazing life. It's given Kelly an amazing life. We meet tons of great people, but it's those people that cause us to do these things because, in 22 years, I think I've met one rude camper, literally. We have friends that own businesses. They're in court all the time, suing people to pay their bills and stuff. We've 22 years, we've never taken anyone to court. We've never had to. Campers are amazing people. They're awesome people. They're very loving, caring people. And, we love our customers, and we love to take care of them. But again, we do this for the people that don't buy from us, and we hope some of you do, of course. I'm not going to lie and say I don't want any business, but we do it more to let the masses know that, hey, there's things you need to be careful of. And again, go to the RV show. Enjoy the RV show. Do a lot of research at the RV show. You may see you like something a lot better than what you were going to buy, right? Then do your research and find out where can I buy this thing that the price is good, very fair, and they'll take great care of me. To go back to why are we different? Simple. We've got a nationwide service network. If you're not in the state of Ohio, we've taken care of people in every single state, including Hawaii. We've taken care of people all across Canada. We don't have hidden fees at all. None. Zero. Everything's on the purchase agreement. It never changes. and we're going to take care of you. We learned years and years ago, if we take care of our customers, they stay our customers. It's real simple. There's not this great formula to it. The other thing is, neither I nor Kelly's smart enough to lie and keep it straight. So it's really just easier to tell the truth, But that's one of the things that makes us different. If you're inside the state of Ohio, we have even more service offerings because it's easier for us to do. We have a Buckeye Service Guarantee. I would ask you to look that up, and it just tells you where our heart is. We're going to take care of people. Rob asked, "What is an RV wholesaler?" It's a really awesome name that we came up with because we sell at wholesale. We don't sell retail. The other dealers we saw were burying people terribly, and they still are. But we were, oh my gosh, on a motorhome, a lot of times we're $20,000 cheaper than other dealers, even in our own state. Not just across the country.
Most dealers started MSRP because that's what they do in the car industry. And then you work your way down.
Yeah, exactly.
I have people ask me sometimes for an MSRP sheet because they want to compare. We start every unit we have thousands below MSRP. So, a lot of times people say, "What's the MSRP? You want to pay it?" But most dealerships are starting at MSRP, and you negotiate down. We started at wholesale, and we still have other ways to help people out on pricing and things like that. So, it's
and we make money. We're not making money. We're not a nonprofit. Larry asked, "Do you carry Grand Design? Imagine." We do not, Larry. And the reason we do not carry Grand Design is they were bought. It's probably been 2 years ago now by Thor and a private equity company. And anytime anyone's bought by a private equity company, we just waive. Private equity companies are in it strictly for profits. Grand Design came out. They had a huge following. They were doing everything right. But once you get a private equity company in there, and even when a established RV company buys a company, the first thing they do is they spend at least the next 5 years trying to get that money back. So they start to cheapen things. They start to cut warranty, which means not pay warranty, right? They find all the ways they can to get that money back. And so, no, we don't. We've stayed away from them for exactly that reason. Someone else asked, "How far are we from Dayton, Ohio?" About 45 minutes. You shoot right up 75, and then what's the road you come down? 274? Yeah, it's a pretty quick, easy drive, actually. Kathy asked, "If I come from the state of Oregon, you honestly help me?" Yeah, of course we will. And the other thing, guys, well, go ahead, Kelly.
We have a unit going to Washington State. I think it leaves out here next week. We have over, I think it's 2,400 service centers. So, there's Oregon, Washington, anywhere you go down the coast, anywhere you go. Yeah, we have it set up. We have a full-time department that does nothing but help our customers that have their RVs. So, that's one of the things that we take pride in.
Yeah, and we service everyone. We don't care where you bought from. That's the other thing. We have people that pull in here every day that are from other dealerships. They did not buy from us. We don't care where you bought from. Number one, we get paid to service units, right? If it's under warranty, we get paid by the factory. If it's not, then obviously the customer's paying us. But the other thing is it gives us a chance to show the customer how we're different, earn their business. And it's a great way for us to prove our service before they even, purchase from us, quite honestly. There's a lot of other questions popping up.
Katie said, "What's the difference between quality of, I think, Flagstaff and Rockwood?" They're the exact same thing.
They're identical.
Same construction, different exterior graphics, different interior colors. Now, I will tell you that Rockwood does outsell Flagstaff about 4-1, so it's going to have a little bit better resale. But as far as the quality and construction, they're identical.
Yeah. So again, if you are looking at the two, if you go with the Rockwood, when you go to sell yours, you're going to make a little more money on it, just because it's better known.
Carrie said Class A's on the website. We have 2 lines of A's, Windsport and FR3, and we're looking into some others right now, but those 2 are on the site now.
Guys, a couple, Rick and Charlene, both asking about full-time RVing, which obviously you want the best quality you can get if you're going to be full-time in it. So you go to a show, what's some things they can look for quality-wise that will kind of give away?
Well, the hardest part with that, Tim, is that, again, it's something dealers are very dishonest on, because they'll tell people it's a Four Seasons unit. It's not. You know, I know of very few.
Couple, 2 or 3.
Landmark, Redwood. Can you think of any others?
From the DRV
DRV
stuff.
had one at one point. I mean, you're talking about all the units that are like $80,000 to $150,000.
Well, it's even like, because a lot of people are, well, it's got a heated enclosed underbelly. And that's you need more than that.
Right.
That's 3 seasons. And a lot of times people get that kind of tweaked to try to get the sale. Well, then everything's frozen up in the winter and things like that. So, I mean, just kind of be careful on that. You'll know.
Yeah, and we can help you out with tips and hints on what to do. You know, there's ways to put skirting around them that assist. But, you know, like if you were looking for a travel trailer, Rockwood's a great one. You know, but again, you have to do some extra things. But almost with any unit, you're going to have to do some extra things living in the winter. But it's no different than a mobile home. If you've ever been familiar with a mobile home, a lot of those will even freeze up in the winter. And they're meant to be lived in year-round. Larry asked, do you deliver to Texas or can we pick up from you? We would love for you to drive up here and pick up. Larry, we would absolutely love it. We love to meet our customers. We do deliver to Texas, and actually just last week we opened a new location in Texas. It's just getting off the ground. But you could also pick up at our Texas location, which is going to be in Dodge City.
Or we can meet partial way too.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They'll meet us at a Walmart somewhere in between to save on costs. But Larry, if you have time to drive up here, again, we'd love to meet you. And it's a beautiful drive from Texas to Ohio. It really is. We also just opened last week our first mobile service in the state of Georgia and North Carolina. So we're now serving both those states with mobile service, so we can take care of you personally there. And of course, then we have our location here in Lakeview, Ohio, with mobile service as well. We have a large shop here. So if you're someone that's having a lot of problems with the unit, bring it to us. Let us fix it for you.
Even if you didn't buy it from us.
Yeah, you know, we just this past month in January, we got one unit that was 3 years old. We got the factory to put a whole new floor in it. People didn't even buy from us, but we looked at it for them for their insurance and realized that it wasn't customer neglect. It was put together wrong with the factory. We got an extended warranty that said that they would pay for a new camera for the people, but they wouldn't pay for the new part inside. Well, they weren't compatible. So the guy's like, well, what about, you know, how is this any better than having a broken camera? It's not. So we were able to call his extended warranty company and get them to pay for the whole thing, you know, and unfortunately it's a thing where, you know, we tell people all the time, you against a factory or you against an extended warranty, you may not have very good odds. Us doing this 22 years, we know what to say, you know, and we know how to get you taken care of, whether you bought from us or not. It really doesn't matter. Randall asked, do you sell DRV suites? We do not at this time. We used 2 years ago. Right now we've switched to Redwood. And the reason for that is we do a lot of studying constantly on quality and warranty. Quality is important. Warranty is as important or more important because you're always going to have issues. And we find that Redwood's taking the best care of people right now. And Redwood doesn't have a lot of dealers. And the reason is you have to kind of prove yourself as a Redwood dealer. You know, if you're not taking care of people, you're not getting Redwood. It's that simple. So it's something we like to be part of too, because we know that if they point to another Redwood dealer, they're going to be taken care of. Now, of course, we don't need them to go there. We can help them with other options, but that's how the RV industry should be. What other questions do we have? Cindy asks, what's the best brand I believe that we carry?
I mean, that's kind of a...
Yeah, it's across the board because...
We need to know more than that. Just, I mean, tow restrictions, fifth wheel trailer.
Yeah, and you know, Cindy, what we do, like if you studied our website, you'd see that we dropped 5 brands last year into this year, and the reason is their quality dropped and they weren't upholding their part on warranty. We did away with them, you know. And years ago we had Montana, and we dropped Montana, and the whole industry was like, "Wow, no one drops Montana, right? That's like the number 1, number 2 selling fifth wheel. Why would you drop Montana?" Simple. They weren't taking care of warranty. I'm not going to sell you a trailer we can't get you taken care of. I'm just not going to do it. Another company, we dropped almost all their lines this year, same reason. The divisions are ran independently, and their warranty people were not taking care of people. They weren't shipping parts in a timely manner. So we had to do away with them. And it's something that we feel we have a responsibility to do, because if you're buying from us, we need to guarantee you we can take care of you.
Well, and again, I mean, we look at it more as a relationship. We want you to come back. We want you to send your friends and family. And if you're not taken care of, that's tough for you to do. So,
no, it really is. And we don't want you to think that we don't care. We really don't, because we do care. We're going to take care of you. David said he was stopping by Saturday. We'd love to see you. Kelly and I both will be here, so stop in and say hi to us. We're just looking through your questions real quick to see if we've missed any others. And guys, I just kind of want to summarize real quick for you, because we don't want to waste your whole day. But go to the RV show, have a great time, look at tons of trailers. You'll probably find something you didn't even know exist. Check out how they're built. Ask a lot of questions, because you can see them and touch them, right? If the rep's there, ask him, why should I buy your unit? How are you going to take care of me? When you talk to the dealer, ask him how he's going to service you. And, we had trouble about a year and a half ago with service. We started getting some phone calls, people upset at our Lakeview location. Honestly, I was shocked. So I went out and just started working in service. Started taking the phone calls, started talking to customers, figured out we had an issue. It was a small one, but we had an issue, and we fixed it. We got it back to where it's running smoother than it's ever been, but I'm not leaving service. I work in it every day. I'm going to continue to work in it every day. I'll never have a customer feel like they weren't taken care of. That's just something we won't do. So that's kind of my pledge to the customers. I'm just going to stay in service.
Robert bought from us. We want to appreciate and say thanks for that. He bought from us last year. Leonard asked, we have Sandpiper Sabre, which is better. We've actually carried both. We currently carry Sandpiper. I mean, it's kind of a little bit, I would say Sandpiper's more of a full profile, where Sabre's more of a mid-pro, kind of trying to come into that full profile. I mean, as far as construction, I mean, they're both built similar. As far as, I can't say too much for Sabre now, because I don't know. I can tell you when we got rid of them, it was kind of one of those things where they were having a bunch of quality issues and paying the warranty and things like that. So as of right now, I mean, I would say Sandpiper, but I don't know as Sabre as of a few years ago.
Yeah, and one of the things we like about Sandpiper is they're a one-stop shop. Some of the factories have started making dealers go to all the suppliers, to get warranty paid and stuff. That doesn't work. And Sandpiper lets you go directly to them, and that's a big reason why we've stuck with Sandpiper, because they do take care of people. They will absolutely do the right thing, all the time. And again, to summarize, don't be in a hurry to buy at the show. If they can do the price at the show, they can do the price the next week, right? If they say they can't, just walk out and do yourself a favor. Don't give large deposits. Ask for things in writing. One of the things you want to get in writing is that this is my price out the door, and use that term, out the door. When I show up to pick up this RV, this is exactly what I'm paying. If they won't put that in writing, please walk away. Find
What's
another
that
dealer.
mean? What's that mean if they won't put it in writing?
Right. Obviously,
It's simple.
Now you know who you're dealing with, And
What if they say that they have this is the last one? Like, you think that's true?
They make them every day.
They make them every day. Yeah. Larry just asked our opinion on Jayco, and we'll hit this one real quick. Jayco is exactly like Grand Design. Jayco used to be amazing, just awesome, and it was a family business. Two brothers ran it, and then they sold it for, was it $600 million, $60 million? Do you remember? It was a crazy amount of money. Thor bought it, and everyone in the industry was like, "Wow, did they overpay?" The very next year at the fall show, they have a fall show every year, right? That we go to, and you see all the units. The very next year at the fall show, and I'm not a little guy, but I couldn't fit through the back door anymore. Literally, they took and made all the bedroom back doors were so tiny it was crazy.
Like 14 inches wide.
Yeah, and I turned sideways, couldn't do it. So it's like, I was out of butter pats, so I had to go back out the front door. But we started looking around the units, and they were cheapening everything, and the reason was to try to get that money back within
Recoup
5
it
years.
quick.
It got so bad, they ran Jayco underground so bad that they literally brought one of the brothers back to run it. And he took over last year, but it's not back, guys. Just check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, and a lot of times, though, I mean, with Jayco, it's, hey, my grandpa bought a Jayco, my dad bought a Jayco.
Yep.
I guess I'm a Jayco guy. So, I mean, but, I mean, you're going to find, I mean, look at some of those things, I mean, and just do the research for yourself.
Yeah, and even in a company, you know, people say, what about Forest River? We love Forest River because we do a lot of business with them, but there's lines of Forest River we won't carry. Their warranty's not good. And see, these companies are so big, they're ran like individual. It would be like if GM allowed Cadillac to do all of its own thing, Chevrolet to do all of its own thing, and they kind of do, but they keep control over the whole thing, right? Forest River and Thor, that's really the only two companies left now. There's some smaller companies, but Thor and Forest River allow their individual lines to do kind of whatever they want. So we got to jump back and forth and be careful. The biggest thing is just, you know, talk to people that own them. And don't just read reviews because, you know, unfortunately, most of the people that do reviews have an axe to grind. They're ticked about something. Talk to people that own them. A good place is on Facebook. You know, there's a Columbus group, for example, on Facebook. Those people tell you everything about their Columbuses. You know, and it's a really good way to learn if you're buying a good unit or not. What else we got?
I'm just reading through Cindy Smith's comment here.
Cindy said, we bought our first travel trailer used from that big place you mentioned, paid
$1,000
Yep.
for an inspection. The first time out, the water heater exploded. No, that's not to say that stuff can happen, but I mean, for $1,000, you could probably put a couple water heaters in it.
Yeah, she had some pretty bad problems, it looks like. You know, and again, guys, don't pay for pre-delivery inspections and all that stuff. You know, it should just be part of doing business. The other thing is if they don't give you a walkthrough, that's a problem. Why don't they want to go through the trailer with you, you know? And check out our YouTube page. If you go to our YouTube page, there's a lot of walkthroughs and stuff on there that will teach you how to use stuff. And we're currently expanding that too, you know, to give people more access.
Rob asked, he had a salesperson try to sell him a camper that was too heavy for his truck. How do you figure that out? The easiest way is if it's not in your, like on your window sticker, what your towing capacity is. There's a website called trailerlife.com, and you can go on there and they have a towing guide section. You can literally find the exact year, make, model, gear ratio, the whole 9 yards, and it'll tell you what your towing capacity is. And then a good rule of thumb is keep the dry weight of the unit 1,000 to 1,500 pounds underneath that. That'll give you a little room for error as far as groceries and clothing and things like that. Now, you don't need to, a lot of times people want to look at the GVWR. You don't need to look at that because that's pulling with all your tanks full at loaded floor to ceiling on the inside. But a good rule of thumb is about 1,000 pounds through the dry weight.
Yeah. Larry asks, is the price better at our Texas location or better in Ohio? It's better in Ohio just because Ohio is closer to the factory. It's cheaper to get the unit here from Indiana than it is Texas. So Texas is a little bit more. You're still going to find us.
Pricing's the same, but it's just the added freight.
It's just the added freight. You're going to find us so much cheaper than all the other Texas dealers down there, though. It'll kind of blow your mind, honestly. It really will. Someone asked, what's good about Forest River? 22 years of a relationship. And we do business with Thor. There's divisions of Thor that we do business with. Thor's not a bad company. And I didn't mean to give that at all. Again, there's divisions of Forest River we won't do business with because they're not ran properly. They don't take care of people with warranty. But Forest River at all, you can't lump Forest River and you can't lump Thor and say it's good or it's bad because the divisions are ran individually. The divisions that we carry at both companies, we're going to tell you we have good luck with or we don't carry them. Forest River, we carry the most of because there's just a great relationship there. If we make a phone call, they take care of it. And that's hard to find nowadays. But the relationships are very strong and they take great care of our customers. They really do.
Randall asked if the redwoods are considered 4 seasons. I would say yes. I have a hard time saying anything's 4 seasons, to be honest, but
If anything's 4 seasons, Redwood and Landmark are.
yeah, and I mean, they kind of go the extra mile. Not just an enclosed underbelly with a piece of corrugated plastic underneath. I mean, they use bad insulation, they wrap the water lines. Extra thing is to kind of go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Upgraded R values and sidewalls, floors, ceilings, all that good stuff. Just trying to get through here. Jim asked, do we carry Winnebago? We do on towables, no motorhomes.
And Kathy asked for our phone number. It's 877-877-4494. We'll post that as well.
That's toll free, by the way.
Yeah, but again, 877-877-4494.
Chris asked, do we carry Cougar? We do not, but I'm sure we can match up a floor plan to the 315 RLS you're looking at. Just calling the 877 number. Ask for someone in sales, and they should be able to get you squared away. If not, ask for myself, and I can get you taken care of.
Yeah, and if you have any service questions or anything, call and ask for me. Or if Kelly's busy, you just want to chat about something that you saw in here, call in for me. You can kick us emails as well. We're happy to talk with you guys all the time, and we really appreciate your time today. And again, go to the RV show. Just be slow to buy there. If someone won't put something in writing, do yourself a favor and walk away. You're the boss after all. You need to be in charge of your buying experience. And you need to make people put things in writing, and you need to hold them to them. If they don't, walk away. There are ways of getting your deposit back. Don't freak out. Call us. We'll help you. Even if you're not buying from us, call us and we'll help you. The key is to remember, you're the boss. You're the one buying. It's your buying experience. Make it a good one. And last one, then we got to go. George asked, do you take trades? Yes, we do. We absolutely do. You'll see a difference in us, I think, George, because we sell so lower than everybody else. So, we take trades a little bit lower than everybody else because, again, I'm not going to sell trade at full retail, just like I won't sell new trade at full retail.
Well, let me just give you one little tip for anyone asking about a trade. Always just look at the bottom line. I mean, really, you shouldn't care if a dealership's giving you $5 or $50,000 for your trade. The bottom line's all that matters. If my bottom line's lower than David's dealership and I'm giving you less for the trade, do you care? No, you don't. So just always look at the bottom line. I mean, that's kind of because a lot of times dealerships will, hey, I'm going to mark my new one up so I can show you more for your trade to make you feel better. At the end of the day, you're getting the same tax savings, whether it's higher or lower based on that's all that matters is what your next note's going to be as far as the trade.
Well, and if you want to know if a dealer's being honest with their trade, and ask them this question, will you buy my trade right now for that price if I don't buy the new one from you?
Yeah.
If they won't do it, walk away. They're being dishonest. They're doing some dishonest stuff. Any trade price we offer, we'll buy outright even if you don't buy the new one from us. The two should not be related. Does that make sense?
Well, that's why it's funny because a lot of times, I don't want to say seasoned buyers, but they'll throw in the trade at the last minute because they've been burnt on that situation before. Right. Hey, I'm buying this outright. Well, I got to trade. Well, that's the reason that people do that is because they've been burnt to where the dealerships jacked up the new price. Right. So then they throw it at the last minute so they can get the true offer.
I've done it when I buy cars for the same exact reason. And one day it dawned on me. I asked the dealer, would you pay this for my truck if I don't buy your truck? Well, no. Okay, then you're not being honest. And I walk away. Now I try to sell them myself, and I would encourage you to do that. And again, this makes, I'm going to get a lot of hate now over this one. It makes RV dealers mad when we say this, but try to sell your trade yourself because you're going to put $3,000-4,000 more dollars in your pocket. Now, there is a tax benefit to trading in, but not if you're getting beat on your used unit, right? Or they're jacking up the price of the new unit. But just run through the numbers. And again, if you're not sure if you're getting a good deal, ask the dealer, will you buy my trade at that price right now? I'm not buying the new one from you. If they say no, walk away. And guys, last thing, remember, you're the boss. You're in charge. Don't feel pressured. They keep building more and more of these, okay? There's little things that pop up. Right now we have 5 banks that are offering a discount on interest rates, right? we don't know how many they're going to do. They don't tell us when they're done. They shut it down. But that doesn't mean you have to hurry into a deal. It's just something that if you're ready to buy, you can take advantage of. But again, you're the boss. Be the boss. Don't let people force you into things. Don't let them tell you that you have to do this or have to do that, right? Just ask questions. Make sure it makes sense to you, okay? And again, we sure do appreciate your time. Feel free to call us, email us. Amazing how many of you are on here with us, and we value your time greatly, so thank you very, very much. And again, call us if you have questions. Even if you're not buying from us, hey, Kelly, I'm working with this dealer, and he said, hey, David, this dealer's telling me, call us, guys. We don't mind. We'll help you out, okay? Again, we'd love to sell every one of you an RV, but we know it's not possible. But if not this one, maybe the next one. Hope everybody has a great day.
Appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you.
David, Kelly, thank you so much for giving us these great tips, and it's going to be an interesting RV show season. So thanks.
Definitely.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.